But on the other hand, it does mean that I have extra steps to jump through instead of just like downloading them. I have to do like an extra 2 clicks. Very tedious. Very tedious. I don't know how everybody else copes with it. Create a dashboard. Stream manager. There we go. That's handy. Don't need my ears in. Nothing to monitor. Not speaking to anybody today. It's just me on my lonesome. I'm looking over some games from yesterday that didn't get cast. I'm sure that most of the GB lot who cared about it was watching them live in the Discord, but that's not the same as them having some schmuck put it on Twitch for 2 people instead. Oh no, no, no. That's where the real special is. Maps. Not simplified. Like that, just enlarged. Okay, we've got compass and arena. Arena. Oy. And shrubland. And shrubland is that's a real map. That's a real map that real players choose. So, you know, gotta respect that. Team Robo and Team Brexit. The definitely the nearbys to the UK. Portuguese, Persians, Franks, Ethiopians, Mayans, Malay, Bengalis, Japanese, they make swords. Magyars, Khmer, Berbers, Romans, they make swords. Armenians, they should make swords. Dravidians, they got swords. Lithuanians, Georgians, Italians, they could make swords. Vikings, Vietnamese, Koreans, Teutons, swords. Huns, Byzantines, Incas, Malians, swords. And Burmese, sometimes swords. So a broadish spread. Which draft do I prefer? I mean, neither one jumps out as being too ridiculous to me. That like it's for the maps though. We've got some arena civs. Compass is a bit weird. I'm gonna have to see how that plays out. I don't know if I've actively watched a compass map. So that'll be fun for me. And Shrubland, I mean, Shrubland's like a bit of a weird hideout, isn't it? Weird hideout with berries. So yeah, we're fine for that. Let's load them up. Oh, and also stop. Oh, Spotify. So we should be starting with Shrubland, I believe. And then moving on. Oh, it's Lowerty's team today. No, we've got Team Brexit and Team Robo. And it is not a best of. It is a play all 3. Starting on Shrubland. Okie dokie. Have I stopped the music? Looks like I've stopped the music. Well, let's start the gaming. Hello, welcome to game number 1 of It's not a fucking play all 5. Play all 3. Play all 3. Team Robo versus Team Brexit. Our team consists of Robo here in the orange, playing as the Koreans in the purple, in the in the pocket, in the bucket. Colours is bad. We have Wildebeest Wildebeest playing as the Georgians. In the yellow, we have Paradox as the Huns. And then in the red, in the flank, Alfred as the Vietnamese. Really handy because you know where your opponent's TCs are, which you never know where they are on Shrubland. They could be anywhere. So you know, huge benefit there. It means that you can beeline your scout into your opponent's TC far more efficiently than if you were playing any other civ. After all, everybody's short-term aim should be to push deer and then run your scout into your opponent's TC, just so it can die nice and early into the gameplay. Over on the other side, we have Steve playing as the Ethiopians. We have in the Tealy Cyan Emu Warrior playing as the Magyars. We have Acro, who I often wonder what's his ELO. Is the Franks? That's nice. Frank Pocket. And then Lower T, the real team captain, as the Mayans in the flank. So, Lower T facing up against Robo. Could be a bit of a rough one. Robo has been known to put on quite a bit of aggro. Will Lower T cope? Thankfully, having sort of like an acro pocket to react to that should be kind of nice. But yeah, it's Shrubland. We're not going to see anything happen for a while. Just deer pushing. For those of you who've never seen Shrubland before, which I'm sure is not the case, I'm sure everybody here has seen Shrubland. You can't pass through the middle. While it looks like there's a lot of wood, there is, 414,000 wood all the way around the middle. But I think you can end up burning through the wood in your area pretty quickly, if you pushed out. And the other thing is there's berries. Berries ruddy everywhere. Another thing that lots of berries do is they can make trade a bit of a nuisance to get up and running in the late game. There is a bit of gold near the TCs and certainly plenty to get you going. But as we can see, it's a little bit in between the players. So kind of securing your flank and making sure that you're probably pushed towards your opponent's base instead of towards your own is certainly going to be very, very useful in the in like the early mid game. Okie doke. Koreans, Georgians, Vietnamese and Huns versus Ethiopians, Magyars, Franks and Mayans. I think I prefer the civs of Team Brexit. They're way more standard. And like Georgians can sometimes feel a little bit nerfed in team games. But they should be pretty good here because there's no like severe camel civs. So Manaspa should still do pretty well here in mass. Which could be nice. Yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll also see how that scouting be going. What about Team 4? They've at least spotted out their flanks and seeing if they can see some of that extra rares. Did we not see our other deer? I'm surprised we stopped pushing. Barracks on the way down. A little bit of scout action. Lower T. Not able to win against two scouts. Is having to try and run home. Barracks will finish. Loom on the way in. Feudal Age in for Will and Robo. And a smidge later for Lower T, who Shock Horror goes double archery range. Alfred, though. Alfred is doing something else. Flank. Moved all the way out for berries to be far away and is Oh no, he was planning to wall it in, but we've actually walled in the villager. Oh dear, so those walls won't finish, and I don't think Alfred's going to notice that for a little bit. Oh no, okay, no he does. He's gaming. Double archery range also on the way down for Steve. So, it's a little bit standard over on this right-hand side. Double archery range and a blacksmith facing up against double archery range and a blacksmith. Green is definitely making some scouts to mix in. Same for Will. Starting to transition to farms. We haven't moved out to berries for anybody other than Alfred, by the looks of it, who is on the way to feudal age, much later than everybody else, and not necessarily with a particularly huge food bank either. So this doesn't look like a fast castle, but like I don't know. I don't know what this Alfred plan will be. Is he gaming? Plenty of scouts out from Paradox, who's here to support. Maybe we were expecting more pressure, but it certainly hasn't arrived. So, as it stands, the only action really happening on this right-hand side. Scouts and archers versus scouts and archers. Gosh. Isn't the team 4v4 team game meta, isn't it exciting? Don't we love seeing the difference of unit compositions? Alfred is Market Blacksmith. Defensive towers. Paradox going to have to be doing quite a bit of work himself, but luckily there's not a huge amount of archers, and thankfully with the gold position as well, we're relatively safe. Preemptive's tower. They're pinging. They are pinging. Paradox needs to make sure that he's pretty safe at home as well, because there won't be any support from the Vietnamese player at all. Over on the other side, bit of posturing. What's KD gonna be like? It literally just like, oh, lose a spear, bit of posturing, lose a scout. That's probably not exactly what Paradox wants, but I guess Paradox's aim is to just, you know, not die, not get run over. Gonna start facing a bit of pressure though. 5 scouts versus 6, so he'll win if he's able to just fight the scouts, as long as he takes the engagement altogether, but letting 2 get picked off, and now, oh dear, Paradox. That was yesterday. I had a lovely pub lunch yesterday. It was really nice, actually. Big pub lunch on a Sunday. A pub Sunday lunch is nice. Today we're only visiting. We're only stopping in, swinging by the pub. Pub always opens, you know. It's got to be open from 11. No noodles. Oh. Yeah. It's a fancy kettle. You're boiling it. You give it. So you gave it a rinse out first, or you just went full in?
No, it tells me to boil it 3 times.
Okay. Well, I mean, shockingly, it's a boil kettle. I mean, how are you going to sanitize that with that hot water? Seems pretty clean, mate. It's just as long as you tip it out afterwards. That's about as good as you can get. You're going to have to teach me how to use the kettle. Well, what?
No, it doesn't take long. It's just like, you switch it on and then you have to choose the temperature. And then it shows you the temperature of the water that's actually in there.
Jess, this is sounding far too fucking complicated. Is this the kind of kettle that has a goddamn app?
No, it's not a smart kettle.
Sounds pretty bloody smart to me.
It's not, I'd say it's like a
Mildly intelligent kettle. Well, I wonder if we've got any mildly intelligent kettles in this game here. As excited as you are about the kettle, thank you for letting me know about your kettle. Oh, our kettle. Sorry, no, I forgot I adopted it. Well, Paradox has not ended up with the scouts in decent places so far, but with Will coming back to join in, they at least mop up Emu's scouts. And as fights go, Team Robo, they clear up, and Alfred is safe, and maybe will start to join in eventually now that we've got some farms on the field and Rattans on the way out. Not particularly vulnerable. And Castlage will land in for Emu Warrior and Acro. Acro still has a few scouts himself, picks off the last of Will's. Lower T loses a Vil, moving forward to a Lion. Yeah, exactly, Fez. Choose the temp. Okay, choose the temp. I want it to reach boiling, and then I want to pour in the water to a mug with a tea bag in it. Is there anything else that you would want a kettle to do? I bet it's for these sodding coffee drinkers. They're like, oh no, the water couldn't possibly be boiling. That's not ideal temperature for the beans. Don't you know? It's beans. The only beans I want are the beans that go on toast, mate. I don't. Some of these weird fancy beans. So Rattan's right. They're great. Everybody knows that a Rattan archer, great archer. But it turns out that small numbers of Rattans do not beat 20 Ethiopian archers, even before they are Ethiopian crossbows. So, like, I don't know, it feels like a slightly weird choice to have gone for the fast castle as the flank player in Alfred's position. But again, I'm not the same level of gamer that Alfred is. Alfred clearly has some ideas. We shall see if they're good ones. University on the way in. We're putting our second TC down on some berries, but there are some knights moving out. Do they know? They look like they're on a bit of a hunt. Bit of posturing, but again, we can't really take this fight. Oh, we find them, but we should be able to garrison fast enough to not lose too many of them. So it's a complete rout. We lose all of the Vils on the TC. And all the while, I imagine the fight over on this left-hand side wasn't going particularly well either. Scouts not really able to scrap against Knights. Trying to get the break in as we do a quick stone wall. I like the speedy reactions. We do have enough Rattans here to keep this at bay. Paradox lands in Castle Age. Immediate chain barding armour. Over on the other side, we dive in. We do a little bit of posturing. But nobody really getting any severe advantages either side. Score-wise, we're in favour of Team Brexit. But I'm not necessarily convinced that the overall position on the map is too dissimilar. Plenty of farms down for Paradox. So even though we were a little later to Castle Age, I don't think we're going to end up too far behind. Like Cav and then getting a few knights in the mix is certainly going to end up pretty good. As soon as we get up to that trickle of Rattans, though, this ends up being a bit of a better fight. Ballistics will be good, which is in, but we're getting some missed. 16 versus 0 knights. Who cares about knights? Knights for nerds. Knights for nerds. Paradox will catch up in knight numbers, especially with some Rattan support, as long as the Rattans don't die. They've got two. They've got two. They're fine. It's 100 military to 75. We've got no siege. You know, even if we got 1 billion knights, we're not winning just yet. I see you are gaming, though. You know, you've got your knights, and now with the backup of Loyalty having similar numbers of archers, this is a fight that we win every day of the week. Check idle TC time. Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's a clear up. We lose a lot of knights, but we don't lose any of the crossbows, particularly for Loyalty, so our numbers are good. We're able to just dive in